Picture this. You're 25 years old. You finally own a home, but your last mortgage payment's due in 2075. The 50-year mortgage is getting ready to drop, and it is a lifetime subscription to broke. Stick around. I'm exposing the trap and the hack to take it down. So they're getting ready to approve this 50-year mortgage. I'm thinking, a lot of people don't even live that long. Fast forward 2074, Gen Z is still going to be paying off that studio in Silver Lake. I think it's going to destroy them. Let's do the math here. Now, this math may break your brain, okay? So you get a $600,000 starter home at 8% interest. That's $1.8 million total payments. That's 3 times the value of the house. Gen Z is going to be paying rent to the bank until they're 75 years old. Crazy, right? Now, the copium that everyone tells me is that, Eric, rates are going to come down. People have been saying this for the last 3 years, and it hasn't really happened. So, gonna need to find a new cope here. But that's the copium, is that, don't worry, the rates will come down. But let's look at that. Hypothetically, let's just say the rates in 2030 were 4%. Big deal. That's going to save you like $87 a month. What's that going to do? That's going to allow you to buy 1 extra piece of avocado toast per week. Now, the reason this is a hidden 50-year trap, you can imagine if you get a 50-year loan, the first 10 to 15 years, you're only paying interest. So you're paying $4,000 a month to own $0 of your house. It's a subscription to homelessness. Now, let's compare Gen Z versus the boomers. So the boomers, 1975, they buy a house for $50K. They're making $25K. Now Gen Z, they want to buy a $600,000 house, and they're only making $60K. Now, I recently made a video about boomers and housing. I'll pin it in the comments. Someone left an interesting comment on this boomer video I made. He said, the reason home prices were so cheap for boomers is because they had a really good work ethic. Yeah, the logic didn't really make sense. Like I said in the video, boomers are going to boom. They're going to boom, boom, boom. They're going to cope. If someone can explain the logic behind this, I'd love to hear it. So in the future, AI is going to take the jobs. Banks are going to take the houses. You can imagine a day in the future where TikTok's going to lay off 60% of their staff because, AI is writing all the scripts. And, good luck trying to get a raise from your boss, Chad, to pay that $4K a month. I imagine 10 years from now, we're all going to have the same boss, Chad GPT. Now, the reason there's this rent forever illusion, rent in LA is $4K a month. If you want to buy a house, $4K a month, with the 50-year mortgage. So it really doesn't matter how you do it. You're going to be paying for somebody's yacht while you're sitting around waiting for Social Security to kick in. Now, people tell me all the time, Eric, there's cheaper places to live than L.A. You probably could snatch up a place in Pittsburgh or maybe even Albany, New York for a lot cheaper, as if I'm an idiot, as if I'm stupid and don't know that. I'm living in Southern California on strict doctor's orders. I need to be within 3 miles of a beach, a warm beach, that has no threat of hurricanes, which limits me to Santa Barbara to San Diego in California, or I could live in Hawaii. So I'm kind of stuck. I'm very limited in that sense. So let's look at a 2075 nightmare scenario. Gen Z is still mowing the lawn on the house they don't own, and then the bank comes in, resells it to Gen Alpha with a 75-year loan. Crazy, right? Now, what are some of the escape hatches? Maybe you can go to the Midwest, get a house for $300K, but they're going to want $60K down. Maybe you got some crypto stashed away, but that went into the ether when FTX folded. Maybe you could get some side gigs, do DoorDash, but then you're, paying off that car that the banks own. Really is tough situation. So I don't see the 50-year mortgage as home ownership. I see it as it's debt slavery with a welcome mat. Come on in. Here's your house. Beautiful house. We own it, but let's pretend you do. I think, and I'm not a financial advisor, but I think I would skip the 50-year mortgage. I would just stack cash, wait till 2035 when the boomers finally downsize, pick something up cheap, pay it off when I'm 45, or find some friends that you trust. Go in halvesies, go in threesies, go in foursies. Do what you got to do. You really got to outsmart the banks on this one, okay? It does look like the Trump administration is backing off this 50-year mortgage a little bit. They got a lot of pushback. People weren't as hyped about it as they thought. So now they're saying, well, we're figuring it out. We're looking at different options. So not 100% on it getting approved, but I would not be surprised if something's going to be longer than 30 that becomes very normal. I mean, we've seen this with car loans. The average car loan has increased in length by about 8 to 10 months over the past 10 years. So I'm not going to be surprised. It might not get quite to 50, but maybe 40, maybe 45. We'll see. Keep your eyes peeled. Hit the like and subscribe before the bank forecloses on my channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.